Hi. Hello, everybody. Okay. I'm always trying to fix something when I start, right? Hi, everyone. How are you? I am not muted. I made sure. Anne, Carol, Amy, A. Brown, curb beater, carb beater, carb hitter, curb hitter, curb hitter. Halina, Marie, Shelling, Robin Carr, Darren, Carla, Leah, Christy, Reg, Darren, Amy, JJ, Z, Hi Beth, Callie with Love, Darren, Carmi, Amari, Amy, Angel Star, Rose, Rose Buisen, BTS Eden, Melanie, Elaine, Leah, Michelle Maibel, Kez, MJD, Pinayonce, Michelle, Dodger Girl is on Twitch, MLB, Rachel, Lindsay, Rose, Look for the Good. I agree. Orchid, Juveline, Debak is here. He's probably gonna appear. Once he realizes I keep on talking, he usually shows up. He doesn't like getting left behind. Ruthie, Beth, Thea, also on Twitch. Curb hitter. That should tell you something about my driving. What do you drive? Hand painted paints. Eve, Kathy, Kemuning, Beatriz, Ilin, Lily, Yovan F, Russ and Kim, 1999, Apobangpo, HT, Personal Space, also on Twitch. Yvette, Cest, Multi-Stand, hello. How are you? Oh, Whaley is on X. I'm so glad to, to catch to live. Hi, Melva, and A Brown. I drive a Hyundai. I was scolded on how I pronounce this. It should be Hyundai, Hyundai Tucson. Tashana is on Colombia. And CDV BTS Butterfly. Hi, everybody. How are you? Are you all happy? Why is this my screen? Wait, that is not supposed to be my screen. This is supposed to be my screen, my opening screen. Hi, everybody. Kathleen, how are you? How's your weekend? Wait, you can see my shoes. That's the shoes that I'm wearing for Jin's concert. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Lily. Carla girl. Hi. How are you? How's your weekend? How's your weekend? How's your week going? Middle of the week. Mine is super busy, lots of stuff happening, and just stuff from work, just stuff from my full time work. I think one of the things that I love about, I am very, very thankful for, is that I did find the kind of work that I enjoy so that I don't really have to work a single day, another day of my life. So I love going to the office. Um, I love the people that work there. I even love my boss super. I love his kindness and I love the people there. But of course, like every other job, there are days and times when it's so hectic and so like things, like any other work, you go through ups and downs. And so we're going through a really rough patch because of certain things that I can't discuss. But I'm very, very thankful. Like it's, I love that at the end of the day, I, after you do the things that you're supposed to do for the day, you look around and you kind of feel like, hey, I am glad that even though we're going through this, I'm going through this with everybody that I am working with. So super love that. I'm very, very blessed and very thankful. So I hope that eventually, as I build as I build the brand of Asian entertainment, I can also create such an environment for the people that will work with me in the future. I hope that I can build that kind of like friendship, a certain level of friendship between colleagues, so that the thing that you have to realize is that when you work, you really spend a lot of your, basically, essentially, I guess, majority of your waking hours, you're at work. And so you do have to enjoy it. Like you have to enjoy what you're doing. And that's what I found in the job that I'm working, the full-time job that I'm working in. I actually enjoy going to work, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing. So I hope eventually, if I, successfully create a company out of this brand, I hope that I can foster the same kind of environment for people. Um, that's it. It was just really like a stressful day. At some point, I thought I wasn't going to make today because there was a lot of things that were going on. But I'm happy that I'm here, and I hope that, what do you guys do? Are you guys like, what's your work? Or are you studying? Are you in between jobs? Do you have your own companies, or are you injured? What do you do? I have work friends for over 25 years, and we've all changed jobs. Great people make your life easier. True, true. And one thing I was going to share. So when I was going through it's not a downtime, it's just that. So when I was processing, no, I was processing. So um, I came here alone in the US. So I have my best friend. She lives here, and I owe a lot to her, because I would say, like, for the first 2 years, she really took care of me, not financially, but that she became my family. And for a time, I actually lived with her. And so at some point, but of course, I had to work and pay my own bills, and processing everything is expensive here in the US. So I because I wanted to pay off my debts, um, I decided to live in my car for a while, so that I can pay my debts. And I was working three jobs at the time. So I had my full time job, which was in the field of marketing, and then I had some writing gigs on the side, and then that wasn't enough for me to pay my bills like quickly. So I decided to take another job. So I worked for, I don't know if you know this restaurant. It's not a restaurant, it's a fast food, Dave's Hot Chicken. So I worked there, and I only worked there for like 3 months, because after that, I actually got COVID. In the early days of COVID, I think I got COVID. I wasn't diagnosed. I just felt after the fact I thought it was COVID. So I had to quit. And then I was about to resign anyway, but it got like I was a month early because I had COVID. But then after I left, I realized that I really miss the people that I worked with there. Like, I wish I asked for their phone numbers, because we had so much fun. So it's, you really don't know you really don't know what kind of, you can't yeah, you don't know what's going to happen when you make certain decisions. And so I was happy that regret not actually getting their phone numbers and stuff, but also I am glad that I enjoyed my time there. Like different people working in that company. Like, some of them would actually, I met someone who's a supervisor in the city, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you just work for the government and stuff, and you can just." She was helping me find a job and stuff like that. I think her number I still have, but yeah, okay. I just thought about it. Okay, you and their family. My condolences to the loss of your friend. Oh, who lost? Why? Who? Condolences. Okay. I was asking for your jobs. I'm a manager at a tech company. Ooh, what tech company? Are you free to say you can't? Oh, a dear, or Carla, a dear friend of on passed on Monday. Oh, I'm so sorry. Robin Carr was a dancer, programmer, then a professor. Okay. Wait. Let's go through the jobs. I'm working right now. Oh, I used to be a teacher and do tutoring here and there. I'm working right now. It's first day, final exam today. I'm working in the university. Oh, are you a professor, a teacher? Healthcare, and very, very busy and stressed. It's always. So my best friend's family, they're all in the medical field. My best friend is a lab scientist. She's like a medical technician. Like, she's the one who like examines. I don't know even what it's called, but she examines like blood and stuff like that. So during COVID, she was actually the one who was running tests to determine if somebody has COVID or not. And then her sister is a nurse, and then their mother is also a nurse. So yeah, I know how stressful it can be. I'm a clerk for the courts in Ohio. Who are you, like, a clerk is in the office, or are you the one that types up the transcript during? Retired army. Oh, thank you for your service. Luckily, I'm retired. I will get there. Data analyst consultant at FMCG company. Done research consultant for the company. Nurse. Ooh, Kez. She's a nurse. I'm in grad school getting my second master's in counseling. Hmm. Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that, Danji. I'm at the end of my grandmother nanny gig, about to go back in the real world soon. I am a social worker, but retired years ago, and I'm back subbing part now. Work with people with disabilities. I want to learn sign language on an invalid benefit. I hope you're staying healthy. I'm retired, but work part time to help make ends meet. Yeah, I think what I will end up doing. um, was a dancer, programmer, then professor, now retired. Our dear friend passed on Monday. Okay, yeah, I condolences. Work at home as operations director for a small real estate firm that produces just under 3M in revenue at this time. 3M a month or a year. Homemaker and BTS. You should see my familia. Going to my master's at the same time. A manager at the tech company. Social worker on self appointment, sabbatical due to burnout, self-employed. I know how it feels. Self-employed performer, 25 years, accountant. But I'll be losing my job next month. I'm glad that I'm prepared for this. So I'm glad I can take a break for a while. Beth, what are you gonna do after? Why don't you try Upwork? You can do like full part-time for while you're resting. My Apo Bang po, remind me where you are. Carla Girl Hugs. Okay. Analyst at the municipal utility, 17-year-old employee. I would like to switch careers and work at Hive. You can always apply. You can just submit your resume. I am a BC survivor. Testing may hurt, but it is a blessing. Stay strong. Um, I am in Australia, the lonely place which BTS gives. They are going there this time. I work for a large hospital corporation in billing department. Math people. I'm a flight attendant flying for over 44 years. Wow, what's your favorite destination? After I left PR, I worked in HR. I currently don't work, taking time to decide what I really want to do. That is good. What about putting up your own agency? I really want to be a theater director or acting coach, but healthcare brings the bacon. True. I work at a casino just past my 20-year anniversary. Wow, really? A lot of you are working, huh? Occupational therapist, university professor. What do you teach? I'm a registered client associate for a VP company. Um, Retired journalist. We need good journalists back, so please come out of retirement. Retired CPA. They haven't. Okay. Retired and now active Korea file with the judge in the courtroom. I input case data and I'm responsible for creating the records. So you're the one who like types up like that. Those who examines blood in a laboratory are called medical technologists. Okay, so that's her. That's what she does. She of course has been promoted and she manages, but she still does it, I think. but she's the head of that department. Like all overall, she's the head of that department, and she has, like any other American, she has three jobs. I think she has two. No, 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 I think she still has three. So she has a two full-time job and one part-time. Year, not month. Oh, a year. Okay. Hello. Okay, nice to get to know you a little better. I work at Pharma and I'm also a cat butler. I'm very tired of school. I have written three papers, taken two quizzes, and uploaded a mock counseling interview within a week, and I'm still not done. Retired Army too. Oh, thank you for your service. Trained mental health counselor. Okay, so I'm a teacher, almost 30 years, accountant, JK music and solo concert tour incoming. Okay, let's talk about BTS first. How is that? So this is someone actually requested for an update of the road to 1 billion. So here it is. So we have quite some movement. So if you go to the last column, you'll see the difference from the last time that we tracked the progress. So the last time that we tracked the progress was June 2, and now it's June 18. So more a little over 2 weeks. And the biggest gainer is actually Don't Say You Love Me by Jin with 78 million. It gained 78 million streams. And then the next one, the next biggest gainer is Who by Jimin, and it gained 50.6 million, almost 50.7. After that, the biggest gainer is Seven by Jungkook, and it gained 29.8, almost 29.8, 29.789 million. Okay, let's go to the how many streams they actually have. We're very, very close to 1 billion for Fake Love. So please continue streaming Fake Love. It is now at 961. 898.65. I hope that you can see it because there's a lot. I'm worried that it's too a little too small for you guys. And then Life Goes On is also at 807. It would be nice if we can push this to a billion, like almost at the same time, these two songs. But please include these two songs in your playlists because we're very close to 1 billion for this. And then Astronaut is 584 million point 78, or sorry, 76. And then after that is Running Wild at 363 million. And then Don't Say You Love Me at 161 million. As I've said, it is the biggest gainer with 78 million gains. If we keep this up, he can actually reach a billion within the year. So that we do. Let's continue streaming for Jin. And then Suga, Hegum is now at 566 million. I hope that we can do this faster. Is it too much to ask to get Suga to 1 billion by the end of the year? And then he also have the Cheetah at 403. I really think Hegum deserves to be 1 billion. So please include that in your playlists as well. And then Sweet Dreams by jhope is at 113 million. Mona Lisa is 146, and More is 309. So we're back again to J-Hope and with RM. Both of them have not left the 300 million line. So last time that we measured, that we looked at we tracked the numbers, J-Hope's More was at 307 million, and now it's at 309 million. So that's a gain of 2 million. And then for RM, he only has one song that's even like remotely close to 1 billion, and that is Wildflower, and it is 303 million. I don't know if there is a universe where where RM would actually create something like more commercial, so that for him to just have, well, anyway, he shouldn't do it if he doesn't want to. It's just that I think if he decides to create something a little bit more commercial, it's going to be easier for him to get to 1 billion. Okay, but only if he wants to. And then Jimin at Set Me Free. So Set Me Free is at 420 million. It gained 2.5 million, but because he has Who, which is gaining a lot of streams. And then V, we're tracking two songs for V, Friends and Slow Dancing. And Friends is at 510 million and Slow Dancing is 506 million. And then Jungkook, we're also tracking two songs, 3D and Dreams. Oh, sorry, Dreamers. For 3D, he has 1914 million. That is 914 million. So he's very, very close to 1 billion. I think he will definitely get there before July, before end of July. And then Dreamers at 481 million. Okay. I don't think that is RM's goal. I agree. I don't think this is really after that. So that's just my goal. It's just me. Okay. Okay, let's go to BTS for 2 billion. Road to 2 billion. So we have Butter, My Universe, and Boy with Love. So for Butter, 1.3 billion. My Universe, 1.461 billion. And then Boy with Love with 1.275. So at this rate, My Universe seems to be moving faster. It's gaining 9 million streams every time, every 2 weeks, roughly. And then V is also on his way to 2 billion with Love Me Again. And it is currently sitting at 1.055, which is a gain of about 4.6 million. And then Jimin, Like Crazy, has two songs over 1 billion, on its way to 2 billion, Like Crazy and Who. So Like Crazy has 1.367 billion, and then Who has 1.77 billion. So I do think it's pretty obvious that Who is going to get to 2 billion before Like Crazy. Although I am salty because I like Crazy more. But again, it's just me. All right. For Jungkook, Standing Next to You is 1.222 billion, and then left and right is 1.091 billion, and then Road to 3 billion. Jungkook is going to get there, I think, sooner with 7. It's gaining 29 billion. So 29 million streams every 2 weeks, roughly. So it's currently at 2.4 billion, and then Dynamite currently at 2 billion, 0.078. Okay, so please, if you can, people, just include the songs that were, excuse me, especially the ones that are below, that are just on their way to 1 billion. It would be really nice if we help in pushing the song. So again, this is just for Spotify. So we don't know how many streams they're getting from Apple Music, Tidal, Napster, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, but it's a good gauge because it is the most widely used platform in the world. um Vihart said, Like Crazy still has me in a chokehold. Me too. I listened to some of Jin's songs yesterday on Spotify along with Eyelid Bomb. Oh my god, I love Bomb's Eyelid's album. Elizabeth, okay, I like Who better than Like Crazy, but I like the acoustic version of Like Crazy better than the album version. Okay. Um so please, you do Amazon. That's great. Any kind of streaming platform that you can do, that would be great. Even if it's free, is better than nothing. So if you don't have the budget for a paid streaming, that is okay. Just use Spotify again. You know, paid streaming. I mean, some streaming, free streaming is still better than nothing. Okay. Um, Set Me Free is my favorite Jimin song. Wildflower is my favorite. Actually, driving back here from work, I was listening to RM's Mono. Imagine. There's such an and I haven't listened to that album in a while. So when he first sang, I was like, "Who? What is this that RM is singing?" And it was Mono. I haven't listened to it. I usually would listen to Indigo. I actually listen to Indigo more than RPWP, and so that's the songs there are more familiar to me. So and I haven't listened to Mono in, I think, a year maybe. Okay, so but it was a trip hearing him again. Be Mine by Jimin. Okay, next chart to look at. How do you stream on Amazon Music? Do I stream like I do on Spotify? Yes, just like Spotify. They have an app, you can put it on your phone, and then just like Spotify, you search for music, you create playlists, exactly the same. Of course, it's a different user experience, but I mean, essentially the same. Okay. Mono is my favorite album. I listen to it every week all the way through. I wish, I know, I just that, when you're trying to help in streaming, kind of forget about the other albums. So, but it was a trip. It was a trip. I was like, I should listen to this more. All right. Okay. So this we're looking at their Spotify, still on Spotify. This is their total streams, all time, the total streams. The last time I went to check this was September 2024, specifically the 3rd of September 2024. I went and looked at their numbers. So this is their total streams across all of their credits as a group and as individuals on Spotify. Okay, so we have four columns. The total, so on the left, on my left, and should be your left, would be the 2024 numbers. And then on the right is the 2025 numbers, June. Okay, so BTS in total has 40 billion streams. Imagine that, 40 billion streams back in September of 2024. Fast forward to 2025, and it is 43.712 billion streams in total. Now, as a lead, they have 38.87 billion, and as a solo, meaning no collaborator or nothing, it would be 35.34. As a featured artist, they have 4.8 billion. Featured would be like Savage Love, for example, as a feature. Okay. Jin, back in September of 2024, has had 1.145 billion. Fast forward to 2025, June, he now has 2.35 billion. Also, his number of songs actually increased from 8 to 38. And then um, he also his solo songs have increased from 8 to 38. August D, back in 2024 September, he had 3.642 billion. So this combines Suga. He has two credits. He Hi Sariana. Hi Michelle. So he has he has two identities. He has two names. August D and Suga. So I had to add both. So back in 2024 September, he had 3.65, oh no, sorry, 3.64 billion streams. 2024, he now has 4.38 billion. Okay. But because since the last time I measured this, he was already in the military, there really was no addition whatsoever in the number of songs that he has and the albums that he has. Okay, J Hope has 2 point, wait, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I'm back. J-Hope had 2.2 billion streams back in September 2024, and now he has 3.04 billion streams, and his number of songs went up from 33 to 50. Okay, next is RM. Okay, I'm always salty when it comes to RM because he's not getting a lot of streams. So why are we not giving him a lot of streams? Okay, RM has 2.2 billion with 41 songs. Since September, he has released two additional songs and he now has 2.9 billion. Okay, now Jimin, back in September of 2024, he had 4.5 billion streams. Now in 2025 June, he has 6.9 billion streams. And his songs, he has 34 songs in total. Now next is V. That's a huge increase for Jimin, huh? 4.5 to 6.9. Okay, V also has a huge increase, 3.5 billion, and he now has 4.8 billion. That's a huge increase as well. But of course, there's Jungkook. Jungkook has 6.9 billion streams back in September 2024, and now he has 9 billion streams in June 2025. How is that? Um, I stream RPWP constantly, my bias record. Don't be surprised if Fallon has them on while Jin is touring. I hope our seven do another Coldplay collab with our seven. Okay. So I'm Colombia. We say salud when someone sneezes. RM looked so good today wearing Bulgaria. Is that he was where he like he was so much in his element. Wait, I digress. you're you're distracting me with an RM image. He was so good, no? He really like art is his thing. It's a perfect match. RM and art is a perfect match. Don't distract me. Okay. Next. All right. They have questions here so far. We're just in our updates. Of course, we did better than than on day one for our streams for jhope in Killing It Girl. He is up number 11 yesterday on global Spotify, and he amassed 2.923 uh million streams. So I hope that we keep it up. Our target should be 3.5 next. And then after that, 4, and then 4.5 until we get to however we need to get to for him to hit number one. So let's continue streaming, please. Let's continue streaming the song. It deserves to be streamed because it is a very good song. Okay. I am still waiting for that sugar Eminem collaboration. Oh my god, I might have a heart attack if this happens. If Suga and Eminem have a collaboration, oh my, I'm going to have a heart attack. Don't do that to me. I still need to work for my niece and take care of my mom. I can't die yet. Okay. um all right. So we are, I think, 9 days away from the Sokjin EP tour. Jintour. So I hope that everyone is ready. As you know, I have my headbands. I have my shoes with me. I am so ready for this. But okay, let's look at the ticket sales. Dodger Girl said, I would love if Suga and M collab. Oh my gosh. I might have heart. I think I won't be able to. I'm going to spontaneously combust when that happens. So I'm just gonna disappear. I'll melt, whatever. Okay. So we still have some tickets left in some of the uh live view of my spontaneous combustion. Okay, so I we have the live view of his tour. Yes. Okay, so we still have some tickets left on some venues, not all of the venues. So Anaheim is 100% sold out. Day 2 of New Jersey is already 100% sold out. The rest are very, very close. So for Dallas, we still have 400. Well, this was like 2 days ago, I think. So we probably have less now, but it's 96.13% sold out for day 1, and day 2, 95.23% sold out. So please help everybody. Please tell everyone that there are still some tickets left so that we can promote this. So Tampa day 1 is also sold out. And then Tampa day 2, 90.94% sold out. Uh, me too. Fairlane, have you been practicing walking and dancing in those shoes? No. It's just gonna happen there. Okay, I'm not gonna walk on those shoes. I'm just gonna stand on it. I'm definitely not gonna. I can't. Okay, we have where am I? So Tampa. So Newark, we have 95 point day 1, 95.81% tickets sold out. So we still have less than 4%. But as I've said, this was generated like several days ago, I think. So, or 2 days ago or a day ago. So we probably have less now. And then 100% sold out in New Jersey, but I think they released some limited view tickets. That's why they're selling a little bit more. So Newark will definitely be oversold. Okay. And then, so that comes to 97.05% sell tickets for over 8 shows. Okay, I'm going to have 2 tickets for LA. Fairlane, where is the tuna hat? Where's the tuna hat? It's right there. You want me to wear it? I'm surprised for day two of Tampa has seats left. I wish I could go. You should. The adrenaline will help Fairlane dancers. If I fall, make sure that you record it so I can upload it. RM is looking nice in Bottega Veneta at Samsung Art TV. Yeah, everything is just it's his aura. My gosh, his aura is just that's him in his him in his element. It's just art and him, perfect combination. So now, another news, Bang Shiyuk's, as you know, I think what 2 weeks ago, I reported that the police is actually requesting for a warrant of arrest for Bang Shiyuk. And for the second time, it has been denied. So the prosecution has twice rejected police requests for a search and seizure warrant in the investigation of HYBE chairman Bang Shiyuk over alleged fraudulent transactions. The police suspect the prosecution is blocking the warrants to take control of the case. This is escalating tensions between two agencies, echoing past turf wars over the high profile investigation. So, police is mad because they requested for the arrest warrant. The prosecution said no, but the police think that they are getting denied simply because the prosecution wants to take over the case because that's going to give them more airtime. Because anything that involves Bang Shiyuk, of course, will get the attention. Okay, but as of now, there is no ground for that. At least what the prosecution is saying is that there is no ground for that warrant of arrest. So nothing was given, nothing was approved. So we saw Bang Shiyuk. He lost a lot of weight. So I'm very happy that he is taking care of himself. And I hope that this goes away completely so that he can just continue shaping stars and writing music. Okay, next, arrest warrant. Yeah, arrest warrant. Seizure, sorry, search. Not arrest warrant, seizure. Search warrant, not arrest warrant. Seizure, search warrant. They want to search HYBE. Okay. And then there is news by the same reporter, Kim Jae-hoon. Kim Jae-hoon, actually, for that the BTS new boy group is going to be he is going to debut on August. So three members were actually seen watching the concert of J-Hope, and it seems that they're very very close to a debut. So let's wait. I'm very excited. I'm very excited because I feel that at least three of the members are very very talented in songwriting and producing. So I love that. I love that there are groups that are actually producing their own work, getting involved in the production and the creative development of their own songs and their own music videos. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Um, SM controls the media. This is the cover NCT member court case. I will discuss that. Gee, could he actually be innocent? He has already been judged innocent the first time, and they wouldn't stop. They just keep on doing. They just keep on just trying to disturb his peace. On the other hand, Korea Kakao Entertainment aren't able to. They're not aren't, but the Kakao Entertainment, who you know, is trying to sell Kakao Entertainment, is failing to find a buyer. So the news. So the just to be clear, Kakao has denied that they are trying to sell Kakao Entertainment, and Kakao Entertainment is the one that's managing SM Entertainment. Okay, and they have other properties as well. So the initial news is that they are trying to sell their entertainment arm. Kakao is trying to sell the entertainment arm of their company because it's not profitable enough and it's not going to help them get to where they want to go. Initially, they were planning on going public, but because of all of these intrigues and all of these scandals, the value of the company is just dipping and it's not getting to a place where they feel investors will have enough confidence to actually buy into their IPO. So they are deciding against it. And what they're trying to do is to break apart the company. So it's like you can think of it like a car, right? So a car has different parts. So what they are doing is, and so what, instead of selling the entire car, they're breaking it apart. So they're selling the wheels, the tires, um the battery, whatever you can find in the car, in pieces, and then they are selling those. So they are selling the companies that they own under it. So SM and other companies under it, they're selling one by one, and no one is buying. So Kakao Entertainment is the one they want to do IPO for Kakao Entertainment. Bang Shiyuk should just buy it. I think he's done. I think he's a little done. I think he's like, whatever. If you don't want to be owned by me, fine. So I think he's like, nah, you're hopeless. I mean, for sure, the nephew of, if I had that money that I can actually buy SM Entertainment, that people there will have to go. A lot of people there will have to go because it's just the way um that takeover actually happened. It's just, it showed just how untrustworthy a lot of the people were inside the company. So, if ever does, I think one of the things that he would be doing if ever Bang Shiok buys and SM Entertainment or tries to buy it again, I think one of the things that he would be doing is to replace many people there. And that is why I think a lot of people will try to go against that. They will try to stop Hype from buying it, from acquiring it. Um, they just want to interrogate Bang Shek to know about his diet secret. Ozempic? It could be Ozempic. I don't know. Okay, we know Korea, MSM, mainstream media will bash Suga no matter what he does. Kakao actually reached out to multi-Fortune 500s with no success. Dismantle companies is an old way of dumping a company and still making money out of it. Yes, so you slice it, slice and dice it, and sell it in parts instead of selling the entire thing. The SM corporate culture is terrible. Okay. Too much devils in SM and Kakao, they would deliberately sink Hybe. One MHJ and her minions are enough. That is kind of true. That is enough. One MHJ is enough. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen if they'll have success in selling the companies. Kakao has actually been denying that they're looking for a buyer. But even the investment banking, I think IB or something, organization, finance organization in Korea, is saying that Kakao is actually on a hunt to find someone that will buy Kakao Entertainment, and the different parts of it. Okay, next. That's it. Okay, so that is for our news and update. Do you have questions before we proceed? We can talk about BTS next. The news that they are going to make a comeback on March. If the body is a poison, okay, that's exactly how box stores go bankrupt. It's sad. SK pushes people up, then wants to pull them down again if they get too successful. In the Philippines, we have this bad, um, I guess, aspect of our culture. It's called crab mentality, where we pull people down. So that is not always the case, but it is a popular aspect of our culture. There are some people that are just too uh, envious of the success that you experience, that they want to take you down with them. Okay. Think they want to get anything from Hyde to help the case of Mama Roach. Old Shores also Kakao. Is Army planning anything for Suga's just discharge? So his fan base is already. Oh, that reminds me, I should post like his fan base projects. So his fan bases actually have a lot planned. If you just go on X, if you have an X account or Facebook or IG, many of his fan bases have already started uploading their projects. So he has coffee trucks, donations. They have photo zones. They have, of course, like banners and billboards, wraps, and stuff like that. So all of that will be in place. I'll put something in Patreon. So I forgot. I just there's so much going on at work. I hope that you send good juju my way. Can you please do that? Just a lot, a lot. Okay. I mean, the police insisting on search warrant is oh yeah, of course. Crabs don't pull each other down; they are eating each other. I guess yeah, crab mentality. There you go, crab mentality. Okay, next is BTS. Is it BTS? Okay. So it's been going around in social media, and it came from Korea Herald. They said that BTS is going to make a March comeback, and this is the funny part. This is the funny part. So this is the headline, all right? That BTS is going to make a March comeback. That's the headline, and then subheadline: Big Hit Music says comeback schedule for boy group has yet to be finalized. So like you could have stopped reading the entire article there. It's going to tell you that they really didn't get any kind of confirmation from Big Hit. What this reporter is saying is that he has an insider in Hybe, and that person told him that BTS is going to make a comeback in March. But there is no confirmation. So this is what I would do for myself, and you're free to just follow this. If not, you can do whatever it is that you want. I'm just going to celebrate and wait. I'm just going to continue streaming. I don't think there is anything wrong with people getting excited that they come back in March. As I've always said, for as long as at the end of the day, it is their IP and their name that is getting mentioned, that we are getting excited for them, that is fine. Just don't celebrate anybody else. Don't hype whoever this reporter is. Just hype BTS. That is okay. The other thing is, don't make plans yet to travel to Korea or to anywhere on March until we actually get confirmation that they are going to make a comeback in March. My gut has always been that they are going to start preparing this year. This is just my gut. They're going to start preparing this year, and they're going to launch or start something either late this year, around December, or next year. But I do think that between now and that, whenever they release or announce their tour, they are going to release some projects, whether it's going to be solo projects for each of the member leading up to the OT7 project, or if it is going to be different projects of them as a group leading up to the return as seven. I don't know, but I do think that between now and the time they launch their next album and announce their tour, there'll be some stuff that they will be releasing. And that's also the same thing that this article said. And I don't think it is rocket science to kind of surmise that. So right, I think just the BTS members would just want to create something while they're making us wait. Look, and why do I think that way? They prepared something for us during their military service. So we know that they don't like it when we're not occupied. They always like giving us something. So they're like, no, we have to keep armies entertained. We have to keep armies busy. And of course, they need to keep their name alive and their image. So I don't think it's a far fetched idea for the members, either as a group or as individuals, to start releasing something to keep us occupied while they are preparing for the big comeback as a group. That's what I think is going to happen, just based on what they have done already. They don't like the lull. They don't like that we don't have their name on our lips every minute of the day. So I think that's going to happen. Let's just wait what it is that they're going to do. It could be one different individual members doing solo activities, or it could be them as a group releasing certain things until they release the album itself. Okay. I wouldn't mind a Run BTS episode. I wouldn't mind. Oh, I wouldn't mind. Where is that? I wouldn't mind a few episodes of Run BTS in the meantime too. Oh, I would miss. I love. I hope that they can do in the soup. I hope that they can do Bon Voyage, and I hope that they can do Run BTS. These are just my wishes, but again, I will take what I can get. It also says JK will perform in Super Bowl halftime. I think there was already an announcement as to who they actually invited for Super Bowl. I don't. Who was that? Hmm. Someone leaked it. Who they're looking at for Super Bowl, and I don't see that person saying no. So I was gonna say no to a Super Bowl performance. Who was that? I can't remember. I can't remember. I will remember when, and when I do, I'll just post about it. I'll talk about it in the next live stream. So if he does perform in Super Bowl, my gosh, I'm going to get a ticket. um, Apo Bangpo, yes, they said that about JK, but the thing, yeah, and the only thing, the thing is that this stuff about them doing solo tours, this thing has been going on for a while now. That that Jungkook, Jimin, and V will be going on a, not V, Suga. That's the newest one. So I think a majority of it, half of those people that are saying it are just trying to um, get clout. Quite honestly, they really don't know, and they're just trying to get clout. And they're probably saying it because they think, oh, Jungkook has an incredible amount of success in the US, so he'll probably go on a tour. Um, so I think they're just getting some clout, but they really don't know for sure. And then the other people are just, they just want to agitate armies who are just, who really want to see OT7 coming back together. So whenever you hear that, just like go. Was it Miley Cyrus? Was it Miley Cyrus? I can't. So yeah, so whenever you hear anything about Jungkook doing a solo tour, Jimin doing a solo tour, doing solo projects, just celebrate it. Just tell them, too bad for my wallet, but full support. No, someone leaked it. They have not announced who will be performing. They someone leaked that an invitation has already been sent. But no, but yeah, no formal announcement. I can't quite remember. Was it Miley Cyrus? I can't remember. Okay. I won't be surprised if it's like several performers or something. Okay. So both TS and B place in the charts. Hype source, trust me, bro. Yeah, let's just wait for the official announcement. Anybody who says like, "Oh, Jungkook is going on a tour, Jimin is going on a tour," just say, "Great, we will be supporting them. It doesn't matter, we will support them." Okay, so according to this article, the exact date is unknown. The Even BTS members are saying that, yeah, we're going to start. We don't know when the return is going, the comeback is going to be, but you know, the all right. So that is for BTS, and also there are some for that, for the comeback. So there are some talks about Jimin, Jungkook, and Suga, the ones that will be doing their solo projects. I think they are saying that because of the considerable amount of success of Jimin and Jungkook in the US, in the West, basically, on pop level. And then Suga, as we know, did a tour, but he was really like he didn't have enough time for a proper tour. And they probably think that he would want to release some music after everything that happened to him. They're probably thinking, oh, he's probably gonna do a cipher of his own, like cipher 25,888. So, okay. Today, Jungkook is in New York today in a Calvin Klein event, but rumors say he is doing tour details also. So, that is actually the next thing that I wanted to talk about. As you know, there's this photo circulating and photo and video of Jimin and Jungkook in the airport, leaving together for everyone knows where. So, I did of course, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that I didn't care for it. The first reaction for me was that I was happy that they're going on a vacation. And then I realized that they are with the manager. So there's a possibility that it is also work. But then after some time, I kind of realized that this was released without their permission. And it is true that when you are in a public place, you're kind of like there is no concept of privacy when you are in a private, in a public place. So I get that. But I felt that we should afford them the little amount of privacy that they can take. You kind of sort of like give it to them whenever we can, because they don't have a lot of that. We don't know if it is personal or professional or for work or both, maybe both. We don't know when they're going to be coming back. So I just hope that next time we see something like that, let's just calm down and think about what would be a better thing for BTS when we come across photos like that. As I've said, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I did not look at the pictures. I didn't think when I first got the picture, someone sent it to me. I didn't think about it and the video. I was like, oh my God, they're leaving. And so maybe something like work or whatever. And then I realized, wait a minute. In the video and the photo, they weren't looking at the camera. They weren't like waving or whatever. So there was no consent, but they are in a public place. And I perfectly understand that. So that when next time we get a copy of a video or a photo like that, let's just keep it to ourselves so that just afford them as much of a privacy we can afford them while we can. Although I can't blame people that why they are very very excited. I was excited. That's why I didn't think the first time I saw the photo, because it's just, to see them again after 18 months, more than 18 months of not seeing them. Of course, it's very very exciting. So whatever it is that they're doing, I hope that they are having fun. JMJK, are you sure season two? Some people, someone's actually said that because they came from, again, their privacy was violated, but everyone ended up knowing about it. That they traveled together and whatever. So everyone thought, oh, maybe this is season two. We don't know, but whatever it is, I hope that they're having fun and they're getting to do what it is that they want, and I hope that we can also sort of protect their privacy. Okay. I just want OT7 picture on the 21st. Me too, or 22nd. Or 23rd. Like I can wait. I'm hoping that Suga will show some signs that he is done with work. I'm assuming because he is doing public service. So it's like an ordinary work. So whatever time he gets off work is the time where his service actually ends. So I don't exactly expect him to do the same thing that that the rest of the BTS members did, but it could be, but it's unusual. But maybe he wants to see armies. But I hope that on the day he would show some signs of like life. So RM is in Switzerland. Yes, RM is in Switzerland for the art event for Samsung. OT7 at Jin's concerts. I would love it. I would love it. Okay. I want to live even if it is five. I want alive even if it is 5 minutes. Me too. Um, Dodger girl, I don't want to open the Naver article about five moods. The link isn't working properly. If it feels yucky to me to know their every move, every location. It almost feels like a coworker to to Thanos about what time you arrive to work and who you speak to. Yeah, in an ideal world, we shouldn't be knowing these things. And I usually don't even talk about it. Not usually. So yeah, I mean, as I've said, that's why I just don't want to participate in spreading the photo. And whenever we can, let's just afford them the little amount of privacy that we can help in giving them. Okay. Friday is Suga's actual last day of work, but he will be officially discharged Saturday. So that will be Saturday 12:01. So that will be 12:01 morning. So they are still in service up until the 12th midnight going into the next day. So by 12:01 in the morning, he will be officially discharged. So, yeah, and because he's a public worker, he goes to work. He kind of goes to work. So whatever time his shifts end, that is the time that he ends his service. Um but isn't this the price of celebrity? Yeah, that's why I said I can't, like, it's not, when I see people, unless it's like super, like, when you're really violating somebody's privacy. But in a public place, I kind of understand why people would just take pictures and whatever, because you're in a public place. In principle, that can happen to anybody. Like if I'm in a public place, you take pictures of me, there's really nothing I can do because the law protects your right to take, it's a public place. So there is no concept of privacy in a public place. So that's why I said and an airport is a public place. So I can't really blame these people for doing what they did. It's just that I hope we can give them the amount of privacy, any kind of privacy that we can participate in giving them that kind of privacy. um all right. Okay, next. Let's do, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do the scandal or do you want to talk about new jeans? Weird with service ending in the middle of the night for Suga. So there, because it's the day, right? It's the so you have 24 hours in a day. So when so it expires midnight, but they're released even before midnight. Like just like Jimin and Jungkook and V and RM, they were released before midnight. It's just that technically you're still in service up until 12 midnight. Um, I am looking. Where's that? I've been looking into how Lee Min-ho handled his military discharge, especially because he served in the public service as well. Suga has an office job, but not a base discharge. Saturday is a weekend, maybe Monday. There will be a pics of a cat walking into hive. That's all Army wants. Aren't NJ's a scandal too? Well, it's a decision. Let's go new jeans. So Daniel, her campaign with Omega, the watch, was released, I think, several days ago, if not longer than that, or maybe longer than that. So not several days ago, several weeks ago. And you know that a lot of their fans are claiming that this is proof that according to the decision of the court, so they appealed the decision of the court, right? Okay, let me do this first. Okay, just I'm gonna answer this question. When you look up JK on Ticketmaster, it pops up. Does that mean he's going to have a concert? Not necessarily, because he had some shows before that where you can actually get a ticket. That's why he has a Ticketmaster profile. But as I've said, it's not a problem. If he goes on tour, count me in. Count me in. I'm gonna get I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try. I'm gonna try to get a suite, and then I'm going to go other days and try to get floor or whatever. So it doesn't matter to me whether he's gonna do a solo tour or whatever. Doesn't matter. I am in. Okay. So let's not, like, don't be agitated about it. If he decides to do a tour, let's just go all out. Okay. I hope that some of you will actually. So new jeans, as you know, the court decided the Ador filed to ask the court to require a to execute their decision that New Jeans can only work under them with their partnership. And New Jeans still went ahead with their complex con performance and ghosted Hybe. They ghosted Hybe. So, am I lagging? Okay, so they ghosted Hybe and they said that, so what Hybe did, sorry, not Hybe, Ador. So now Ador decided to go to the court and say, okay, you told them that they have to work under us, but they are violating your orders. So you're going to have to put a punishment on that. If they don't follow your order, there should be a consequence. And so, am I lagging? Still lagging? Am I still lagging? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, I changed something and I hope that is better. I hope it helps. Your audio doesn't match your lip movement. Lucy in the sky. Let me know when it starts getting better. Big lagging. I read that Danny went to Omega promotional event accompanied by an Adore staff. Well, if the court is telling you that you are going to get, wait, let me see, close some stuff. Maybe this is gonna help. Delays are like a kung fu movie, still lagging. Stop spamming. Still doesn't match. Please be ready to vote on Mnet during the live voting today. Maybe we have to refresh. It's like the old kung fu movie dubs, not good. Culture. It's like a badly dubbed movie. Okay, I tried to put something in the computer so that it cools down. Am I okay? Perfect. So it was just that. So the issue is that this computer that I'm using is overheating, and so I have to put it over a. I have to put a like an ice pack under, just so it wouldn't overheat. So I do need to buy a new computer. All right, let's go to New Jeans. Let's go back to New Jeans. All right. So now after they did the complex con, the court um Hybe went to the court and said you're going to have to impose a penalty if they don't follow your orders. So the court did that, and the court said that if you do anything without a door, any kind of work, then you are going to pay 750 million or something like that. Huge amount of money to Adore individually. Individually. Okay. So so where is our beautiful puppy? I hear him moving, but he's not coming to me. I don't know. He's being dramatic. So I will react to the House of Cards. So the court granted that. So it's 750 million. I heard that Ador was actually asking for double, so they cut it in half, but still a lot of money. So because that means what, times 5, they have to pay like 3 3.5 million incident per incident. So for example, if the 5 of them went, this is just an example, if the 5 of them went to mm, to a university event to perform, those university festivals popular in Korea, if any of them actually went there as a group, or sorry, if they go there as a group, they will have to pay like 3.5 million. And so that is the same amount of money that each of them got as a payout in the last year that they were active in Ador. So that means essentially one of them will have to pay give 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 Ador back everything that they were paid. So when Daniel went to this, so now a lot of bunnies are interpreting that this event of Daniel was a sign that this does not include endorsements because he was able to get Omega. But this brand deal was actually facilitated by Ador and Hyde before this entire mess started. So this still an Ador thing. And so when she went to the event, she was with a staff of Ador. So I guess the fine worked because now they're finally seeing something tangible. They're realizing that there is a tangible concept to a tangible consequence to what we are doing, right? It's very it's 750 mil 750 million, sorry, 750,000. um so they I guess now they're realizing, okay, we really can't do anything about it. We're going to have to follow the court or we're going to get fined. And the process is that if they don't follow the decision of the court, and so for example, Ador said, okay, they decided to do work without our permission, what the court can do is garnish their properties and their bank accounts. So even if they don't pay, they say, yeah, we don't want to pay. Yeah, you don't do that to the court. When the court tells you, you pay, you pay. And they will get to your bank account. So they can garnish their properties and their bank accounts. Okay. Um, why would this company want New Jeans to represent them after all the trouble they caused? She's not pretty, in my opinion. This was facilitated before all this mess started. Before all of this mess started. Okay, so this is a part of her campaign, some of the posters and billboards. So she doesn't have any uh she this all came this were all released before this mess started. Now they appealed that decision. New Jeans appealed the decision of the court to uphold the court's decision to uphold the exclusivity contract. So, but this is not the big case yet. All right, so they appealed that. They went to the higher courts and they appealed that. All right, this is the decision. The TLDR of the entire thing is that the court sided with Ador. So the court said, nope, that decision will still stand. You are going to pay a fine if you work without the consent of Ador. If you don't work with Ador, if you do any kind of work with not with Ador, sorry, if you do any kind of work that is not approved by Ador or coursed through Ador, then you will pay a fine. So this is the decision. Of course, it's in Korean. I did get some summary out of it. So this is the whole part of the decision, not the whole decision. So it's a lot of pages. I can give you the link to the actual document, and it's a lot, and it's in Korean. So I don't know if you want to go through that. So what is in the decision? Okay. One of the things that the court said is that you are doing it to yourself. So one of the things that New Jeans claims is that they if they don't work, if they are not allowed to work outside of a door, then it's going to cause a hiatus, and that's going to damage their ability to earn and damage their career. But the court rejected the claim and said that the ban they said that if you do not work in this time while we're waiting for the decision for the big case, if you don't work, that's a self-inflicted damage. It is you that is not doing fulfilling the contract. If Ador is giving you work and you choose not to follow that, then it is you doing it to yourself, not Ador, because Ador is giving you work. So, and I will provide some details. So, the Ador is giving you work, you're rejecting it. So, you're doing it to yourself. Okay. All right. So, that's part of the decision. Second decision, this is kind of funny for me. In other words, this is not the exact words, but it's kind of funny for me because the court said feelings and legality are two different things. The law does not care about your feelings. The law is the law, and you're going to have to follow it, because the members are saying that because of everything that has happened to them and whatever, they are being deprived of their freedom, they're being deprived of their artistry, of opportunities and stuff like that. And so the court said that you may have felt that way. I acknowledge that you feel that way. It doesn't make it true. So don't your feelings don't translate to reality, is what the court said. So the court said the members may have felt a sense of loss or deprivation, believing they could no longer work with a certain producer, or feeling they were being discriminated against compared to other groups. However, upholding the exclusive contract is a basic obligation of the members as parties to that agreement. So again, because Ador has been able to prove that they are continuously making an attempt to provide New Jeans opportunities, brand deals, concerts, songs, music videos, albums, tours, they're continuing to make plans, and it is New Jeans that's rejecting it. They are able to prove to the court that they are doing their part. I know that a lot of people are wondering, like, why is still there PR for New Jeans? Why are still they releasing New Jeans? Why are still they getting brand deals for New Jeans? The reason is this: so that they can cover their own ass, so that they can tell the court, we are doing our part. We are showing that we are willing and able to provide them the kind of career that they want and opportunities that they want. They are the ones rejecting it. So always remember that in the eyes of the law, your feelings don't matter. Okay. Okay. Their feelings don't matter. What matters is the law. To the law, the only thing that matters is the law. Okay. Now, they also said that the firing is a management decision. That Min Hee Jin's firing is a management decision, and that the artist has nothing to do with that. So this is the part of the decision that talks about that. So Ador offered Min Hee Jin the producer role for New Jeans on four separate occasions, apparently. And they even reappointed her as an inside director. But Min Hee Jin declined all offers and resigned. So they're saying that, again, Ador did everything they could to provide, to compromise with New Jeans. They wanted to be produced by Min Hee Jin. Then they actually were trying to get her back as a producer. But Min Hee Jin was the one who decided to decline the offer. So, and the court is saying that as an artist, really, that is none of your effing business. So the management wants to be the CEO of the company. Like me as an employee, although my I am pretty sure that my boss really cares about us, he has no obligation to fulfill our demands as to who is going to be the CEO, the vice president, the internal vice president, the external vice president, VP for management, VP for operations, VP for accounting. That is none of our business. He loves us, but he's going to make the right decision for the company, not the right decision for us. So that is the explanation that the court provided to New Jeans, that the firing, whoever is going to be leading Ador, is not up to them. It's up to the management company, to the owners. Okay. Next, they said that if NJ, New Jeans, continue independent activities as NJZ, it would damage the brand image of New Jeans. So I think the court kind of realizes that if we allow New Jeans to continue working, even on an interim, like temporarily, it's just going to open a can of worms, because then many other artists are going to come forward and ask for the same thing, sue the company. While the case is ongoing, they will be able to work by themselves independently. And that is going to take away the opportunity of the investors to get their money back. And you don't want that in a free market. You don't want the investors to not want to invest in a certain industry, especially an industry that's affecting other industries like entertainment. Soft power. Okay, so they said in the entertainment industry, this is the statement of the court, in the entertainment industry, public perception and outward image are critical factors. Around March 23, 2025, the respondents held an overseas concert in Hong Kong under the name NJZ instead of New Jeans, excluding the creditor from the process. If the respondents' independent activities are left unchecked, there is significant risk that the public may mistakenly believe that the exclusive contract has been completely terminated. This also poses a serious threat of damaging the brand image of New Jeans, which is owned by Ador. Okay. The IP is owned by Ador. All right. So the ruling sets a precedent. It does, yeah. It sets a precedent. More like it is following a precedent. Other cases before that, it's following a precedent. Okay. Ador is upholding the contract. So they're saying that Ador has been trying to organize a domestic fan meeting for New Jeans this year, but has faced the lack of communication from other members. So Ador actually came forward with some evidence, pieces of evidence that shows that show that they are actually trying to organize a fan meeting for New Jeans, but they don't want to communicate. They're not responding to Ador. So again, this is them proving that they're actually willing and able to provide the support that New Jeans wants. It's just that it is New Jeans that continues to reject whatever it is that they are offering. Okay, so if you're being offered an opportunity and you don't want to do it, it is your fault, not the person or organization that's offering you the opportunity. So the Supreme Court, or the High Court, recognized that Min Hee Jin attempted to take control of Ador and sought to separate New Jeans from HYBE, undermining the integrated structure between herself, the company, and the members. And this is important because it could influence the decision of the big case. The big case that Ador filed to uphold the exclusive contract between Ador and New Jeans. So this court, the High Court, is actually recognizing that Min Hee Jin attempted to take control of Ador to separate New Jeans from HYBE. So this is the statement of the court. Since 2023, former CEO Min expressed dissatisfaction with the shareholder agreement and demanded revisions, while also exploring ways to take New Jeans out of HYBE control or to independently control Ador herself. Former CEO Min is seen as taking a stance that undermines the foundation of the integrated structure between Ador, her own role, and the members, which had achieved significant success. So they are formally acknowledging on record, and is going to the court case, to the court records, that she actually tried. She made attempts to take Ador away from Hyde. The court is saying, we recognize that you were trying to sabotage Hyde by taking control of its lone IP, which is New Jeans, and of course of Ador. Now, this is a good thing. This is one part that I really like because it establishes that Min Hee Jin's claim of originality, that this is her creative creation, is actually not entirely true. So the court is saying it's hard to ascertain that Min Hee Jin was directly responsible for New Jeans' debut. The casting was handled by Source Music, and the funding came from Hybe. She only became involved, whether directly or indirectly, about 10 months before their debut, after the members had already been chosen. The court officially confirmed that Min Hee-jin is not New Jeans' mom, and that song is New Jeans' mom, and that song is not New Jeans' mom, and So Sung Jin is their dad. So the court is saying that she can't, there is no legal way of determining that this is your idea, that all of New Jeans is actually your idea, because she came into the picture 10 months before the debut. So the video that was leaked of New Jeans practicing attention with a slightly different choreography and slightly different, well, it's all English, the lyrics were English, so that actually played a huge part. Now it actually makes sense because it establishes that even before she became involved, the concept was already there, the song was already in place. So for her to claim that everything about New Jeans is her idea is inaccurate. She cannot make that claim because that song has already been there. The members were already chosen. And it is very clear that the concept was already taking place. She may have taken it to the finish line. She may have added some things, but it is not entirely her own. And the court is acknowledging that. It is in their documents. It is saying very, very clearly, you cannot make that claim. 10 months before is when you came in. Okay. Actually, the document it was actually longer, and they went through several more points. Okay. And I'll go through some of them, but it's just super long. On March 27, 2023, Hybe, Ador, and Min Hee Jin, along with three individuals affiliated with her, entered into a shareholders agreement with a 5-year term. At the same time, they signed a stock purchase agreement under which Hybe agreed to transfer 20% of Ador shares to Min Hee Jin's side. So part of the money that she used to pay for the stocks, she actually borrowed from Bang Shiyuk. However, beginning around December 2023, Min Hee Jin began voicing dissatisfaction with the terms of the shareholders agreement and demanded revisions. Concurrently, she attempted to remove New Jeans from Hybe's oversight, pressured Hybe to sell its remaining shares in Ador, and explored ways to weaken Hybe's control over the company in an effort to gain full independence. So this is still part of the court acknowledging that she did try to take control of Ador and get it from Hybe. On the contrary, it was Hybe that correctly identified the New Jeans members. It means that it was actually Hybe who casted them. So even before she came into the picture fully as a creative director, the lineup was already there. There were like 7 or 8 members. So obviously she took out 3, and we kind of know who those 3 were. But the group was already there, the song was already there, and if the debut song was already there, it means the concept was already taking shape, it was already there, and she just had to refine it. Okay, continuing, notably, Hybe made a significant unilateral investment for the benefit of the group, and through the branding and management agreement, the BU agreement offered both tangible and intangible resources to support their growth. This level of support was possibly precisely because Hybe is a major entertainment company with substantial capabilities. Now, the court is acknowledging and telling her, dude, if Hybe wasn't as big as they were, and if they don't have the network that they have, and if they don't have the money that they have, you will not be able to do everything that you did for New Jeans, and you won't be able to accomplish everything for New Jeans if it wasn't for Hybe. Okay, continuing, considering all these factors, Hybe played a central role in managing the entire transition period of the exclusive contract, successfully integrating Ador, Min Hee Jin, and the New Jeans members into a cohesive structure that led to remarkable success. In contrast, Min Hee Jin is now seen as the only one actively working to dismantle the very foundation of this integrated system. So the court is saying, Hybe worked with you and for you so that you can make your vision into a reality. And that foundation that you built all the success into, it was you who's actually damaging it, not Hybe, not Ador and not Hybe. Okay. Next. So while the court respects the emotion of the debtors, so this is another part of the decision. While the court respects the emotions of the debtors, Nugins, a breakdown of trust must be based on objective facts, not subjective feelings. The judge even read aloud the dictionary definition of breakdown of trust. So again, we're going back to the court saying your feelings don't equate to reality. And your feelings don't isn't more important. Your feelings aren't more important than the actual law. And according to the law, if you're going to claim that there is a disintegration of trust, a breakdown of trust, there has to be material and physical evidence. You can't just say, my feelings are hurt. It doesn't work that way. You're going to have to prove it. Okay. Your success, so the building to what we were just discussing, the court is saying your success is not yours alone. Nugins' success wasn't the result of individual talent alone. The judge is directing this to the five members. It is not just you alone, but in the collective efforts, but of the collective efforts of staff and Hybe's integrated system. So the funny thing is that the court is telling them that this is not your success alone, but the girls themselves are saying, and Min Hee Jin is saying that Nujin's success is all hers. Remember, mentioned so many times before. She said so many times before that if it wasn't for her, Nujin's won't be successful. No Jeans is not even taking credit for their own success, not even part of it, not even 5% of their success. If you know what I mean. If you know, you know. So, not even 5% of it. They're saying that we won't be successful if it wasn't for Min Hee Jin. And Min Hee Jin is saying if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't be successful, which is odd considering they are the ones, it's the five girls that are actually going on stage, recording their songs and performing in front of many people. But she's saying, this is my success. Now, the court is addressing this to the five girls. This is not your success alone, but the collective efforts of the staff and Hybe's integrated system. So, the court is establishing the necessity of investors and the business side of things for it to run. Okay, Nujin's support for Min Hee Jin's position and their demand to terminate the contract cannot be considered an unforeseen change of circumstance. On the contrary, their claims seem to be against principle of good faith. So they are saying that Min Hee Jin leaving is something that they did not expect and stuff like that. But the court is saying no. This you made that decision. You made the choice to actually support her. So it is not an unforeseen change of circumstances. It is a choice, and you have to own up to it. On the contrary, what you're actually doing is that you're violating the trust and the working relationship that you have with Hybe. Okay. Finding April, hello. They also addressed the CCTV footage. This is what Hani claimed that people ignored her. One thing that is noticeable in this decision is that the court seemed to have acknowledged that Hani may have been saying the truth from her perspective. The court is kind of saying like, okay, let's just give you that. Let's just say that she ignored you. Let's just give you that. Let's just give you that claim. What the court is saying, I'll read. CCTV footage confirms that an initial greeting had already taken place, and even assuming Hani's claim to be true, the incident in question was a one-time occurrence. Following that greeting, Therefore, it does not constitute ignoring Hani or treating her as if she were invisible. She was invisible. So what the court is saying, okay, let's just give you that. Let's just say that according to your perspective, she did not greet you. The court is saying, number one, it was very, very clear in the CCTV footage that she did. She greeted you the first time. Now, if she didn't greet you the second time, it does not constitute bullying because bullying has to be repetitive. It can be just a one time mistake. It does not mean she's ignoring you. It does not mean that she's belittling you or disrespecting you. She greeted you the first time. If you felt that she ignored you the second time, still does not constitute bullying. So, okay, that's an important factor. I'm actually doing a project for an HR company, and in bullying, repetition is actually a huge part of it. If it's a one-time occurrence, unless it's super, super harmful, it won't be considered bullying. Okay, another thing is that Source Music and Ador and have actually confirmed, clarified that the dorm of New Jeans when they were training, that it was full of bugs. Now, what Ador and Hybe is saying is that the dorm was actually provided by Source Music when they were still not a part of the agency. They transferred to a new dorm when Hybe bought Source Music. And then the other thing is that Hybe has nothing to do with it. Bugs can appear anywhere, and it's a matter of upkeep and deliberate neglect. So what they're saying is that, why don't you clean up? How's that? You think it's a possibility for you to clean the place that you're living in? Okay, there's a lot of things. There's like 30 other points that the court presented, and 30 other points that all the points, basically the things that New Jeans has been claiming. The Source Music actually answered to that one by one. So it's a long list of stuff. So, and that also included the copying allegation. So one of which is the LV incident. So Nugent is claiming, or at least Min Heejin is claiming, that Hybe and Ador took the opportunity away from Nugent and gave it to Le Seraphim, because Le Seraphim, for a while, I think for about 2 years, they were the brand ambassadors, or at least a partner of LV. So they clarified that no, it actually happened through Sakura, because Sakura has been working with LV, which is not impossible at all, since 2022 or 2021. And so it just became like a natural process for the rest of the girls to be involved in her brand deal. So remember that Sakura, one of the reasons they actually got Sakura for this group is because of her popularity. She's so popular in Japan. She's the queen of Japan. She's the princess, she's the darling of Japan. All the success that they are experiencing in Japan wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Sakura. Her popularity in Japan is just unexplainable. The four girls can be injured and she can stand in front, in the center of the stage, and she can still sell out a stadium. That's how much they love Sakura in Japan. So LV tapping her to be a brand ambassador wasn't something surprising, and it also wasn't surprising for LV to say, "Okay, we're gonna work with your entire group." Because if I was the brand manager of Hybe, that's what I would do. You want Sakura, you get all the other four girls. Okay, and they did. They want Sakura. So that they clarify. They also clarified the handbook thing. So they said that no, it's a common concept that girls would wear, well, anybody, Koreans will wear hanbok because that's their national, like, this is traditional clothing, and many other girls or many other groups have actually done it. So there's a lot. I will post it in Patreon, but it's like 30 points that they answered one by one, and it's all in the court documents. So do you have any questions? For real, I got to research this Sakura. Oh yeah. So as she was with IZ1, remember? Sakura was with IZ1 before she joined Le Seraphim. So she was a Japanese idol. She was with HKT, AKB48 and HKT48. She was the center in the U in Japan. Yearly, this group. So this is rotating members. The group, they have rotating members. So members actually graduate when they become too old to become a member of the group. But while they're still there, yearly, people will vote who's the center, and whoever is the center will always be the center of their music videos, their performances and stuff. And she was like the center for, like, she was voted as center for, like, I don't know, and so many number of years. That's how much they love her. She's so popular. And so when she went to Korea to join um, the reality show to become a member of IZ*ONE, uh, she actually wasn't a very good performer, at least not in the level of Korea, because their training in Japan is just very, very different. It's just different. Like if you watch their performance, it's not heavy. They're just all cute. Just it's very kawaii, very cute. So like posing, being cute and whatever. Not a lot of heavy dancing, not a lot of live singing. There's some, but not a lot. And so when she competed, like everyone in Korea was just like, why? Why is she so popular? So when it was her turn, she performed and it was her turn. She was going to get booted out because the members. I remember one judge in that show was actually an idol, and one of the judges, so she was getting out for sure, she was going to get eliminated, and one of the judges actually had to campaign for her. So she spoke with all the members of the judging panel and told everybody, just trust me, vote her back in. And everyone was like, why she's not, it's just like, vote her back in. And they did, because everyone was like, I don't understand why, but she kept on saying it, just trust me, vote her back in. So she was voted back in by the judges. And you can actually see before the decision, Sakura she kind of knew that she was not at par with everybody else. And so she actually cried because she knew that she deserved to be eliminated, but they saved her because she was so, that's how popular she is. Now, of course, since then she has improved and proven her worth. I think we have seen her perform with lesser femme. We can see that she really has improved, and it's natural that she would, because as I've said, in Japan it's just a different kind of training, but that's how powerful and how popular she is in Japan. Unbelievable, unbelievable, so popular in Japan. Okay, they have um Fairlane, I see bugs on here. I demand a new screen. There are bugs here. They kept appealing with no new evidence, so I will be sick of it too if I am the judge. And I think it was, who was that? Someone was asking if New Jeans, Bang Luna, if they appeared in the court, if New Jeans went to the court. No, they didn't. They didn't appear in court. The problem is some people seems to just not want to learn. Is it her charm? Maybe she has the type of charm that Japanese people like. Like, I don't understand what Korea see in IU. I think it's a cultural thing. It could be a cultural thing. She definitely got the idol down to a T, the idol like lifestyle to a T. And even she has acknowledged that. She said, like, I know this kind of life. And it has essentially been the only kind of life she has ever lived. The only kind of life that she, and this all came from her. This is the life that she knows, and this is the life that she loves. She did say though that this is going to be her last group. She's 26. So by the time the contract expires, she's going to be like 33, 32. So for her, she said that this is going to be, she may still renew for another 3 years maybe or something, but or maybe she's going to stay as a member of New Jeans, but she's just not New Jeans, Les Seraphim, but she's just saying that she's not going to join another group. That Les Seraphim is going to be her group for the rest of her life. So maybe it is a cultural thing. If you see her, if you listen to her speak, she definitely has that Japanese idol voice. So yeah, definitely. um I think she has become so used to being an idol that it made her, sort of, the way the name J-Hope made J-Hope, according to J-Hope. It's the same thing for her. Like, the life of an idol made her, because that's what she wants. Still young, yes, very, very young. Oh my god, 26 is like a baby. Of course, it's so young, but to them, to them, right? um IU is a beautiful person inside and out, lovely singer and a wonderful actress. And I think that's one of the things that they love about IU, because she's so respectful, she's so kind. And in the beginning, she was really singing songs that were more aligned to the taste of South Korea. But it's also her character. They also love her character. If you go to like the personalities of the legends of Korean entertainment, IU, EJ Sok, you will see that there is a common thread. There is a common thread. The thread of respectful. They're being very respectful, being very sweet. They do a lot of charity. They're just so kind. So you will never see them slip, basically. So I think that's part of why they love her so much. Carla Girl said, I think I have shoes older than 26. I may have a shirt that's older than 26. I hope Hive can break that mentality that groups you can only work while they are young. I think for sure BTS is about to break it, because for BTS, this is all, I mean, for Korea, BTS coming back as a group and going to promote actively after is already like that's already out of their routine, like out of the ordinary for them. So I think it'll happen. They will make that happen. BTS will make that happen. Unfortunately, I think they're going to expand to the west global market, not just Western market, but I think they're going to expand to the Western market. That's the only way they can sustain it. And also I think that's what they, as artists, of course, they want to establish their own identities as artists. Okay, I loved how IU sang V's song on her show, and V looked shocked. I like her interview with Suga. IU is a great actress and she's a great person. I honestly hope that she and her boyfriend lasts forever. Okay, do you have any questions before I go to the last one, which is a lot of scandals, just a lot of scandal talk. Um, Good God, this judge is really this judge really drove the bus, ran them over, and then backed up over NJ. Really love her point when she said, like, of course she didn't worded it that way, but what she essentially said is like, okay, I respect your feelings, but it doesn't have anything to do with reality and with the law. It's like, okay, great. I'm sorry. Probably go through a lot of misery, but sorry, that's just not the reality and that's just not the law. So she drove home that point for sure. Fairlane, do they still have one final hearing, or they will appeal to the apex court? I feel they will drag this till the MHJ ruling. That is probably their plan, to sort of drag it until the end of their the to the end of MHJ trial. I think that's their plan. So it is already the high court. So there is nowhere else for them to go. They said that it happens only when the in like it's not impossible to still appeal it to the same court, to the high court, but it is only granted when there is just something like incredible that happens. So it's very rare, super rare, that the court will still grant an appeal. They're already in the high court. So I think, but I do agree that their goal is to try and drag it until the decision of the MHJ ruling. So when that happens, I think that's when they will sort of see what they're going to do next. The other thing is that some people are asking, could they be delaying it until the decision, until the expiration of their contract? Maybe, but I think it is very, very foolish for them to do that, because that would also mean years of them not working, and you don't want to stall your career like that. It's one thing to be an Adele and then decide, yeah, I'm going to rest for like 5 years or maybe 10. That's one thing. I mean, that's the Adele, and she's like, it's just she has her own. She's been so successful before she went on hiatus, but for somebody like them who's just really starting to go on a hiatus for 7 years or 5 years, that's not a very good plan for them. Okay. Next, were K-pop audience so varied in age before BTS? Not really. There were some, especially those that would grow old with their favorite group. There are people like that. They will grow old with their favorite group, but not as varied as this one. No. Um, I like the game of chicken. They are going to lose. Adele, yeah, no, they're not Adele. They're not. You're not Beyonce, because Beyonce took a while for her to do her follow up album. You're not. It's just those people are different. Right? They can afford to rest for 5 years, and when they come back, they know that people will still be listening to them singing. But So if they decide to rest for 5 years, I think it's not a good idea for them. Okay. Former K-pop tail admits to rape charge. Prosecution seeks 7-year prison term. So, as you know, one of the members of NCT was actually accused of rape, and it was a good job on SM's part to actually they were able to hide that case for a really long time before it actually was leaked to the media. And as soon as it was leaked, they released a statement saying that Tail is actually leaving NCT. They did not mention anything about his contract with SM Entertainment. But so he left NCT, um, and after that, I decided not to cover the case. I did not provide any kind of feedback or advice, primarily because I promised after. Well, it has always been my principle to assume people are innocent until they are proven guilty, not the other way around. And I think everyone should be afforded that right. I think people should actually be treated and assumed innocent until proven guilty. So, as much as it was like hard because this is a rape case we're talking about, I still have to honor the law. So the law, dura lex sed lex. The law may be harsh, but that is the law. So while they were there, he went on hiatus, and so they were hearing the case. He was when he came in for questioning, and then finally in their first hearings, I'll read this for you. Specifically, they face charges of special quasi rape, which applies when two or more people engage in sexual acts with someone in a state of unconscious or unable to resist. I don't, it doesn't make it easy. That's definitely doesn't make it easy. The charge carries a minimum of 7 years and maximum life sentence if convicted. Asked by the judge whether he acknowledged the charges, Tail replied, "I admit to all charges." His two co-defendants also admitted guilt. According to the indictment, Tail and his acquaintance met a Chinese woman in Itaewon, Seoul last June. After drinking together, the woman became heavily intoxicated. Tail helped escort her out of the bar and placed her in a taxi with one of the co-defendants, identified as Lee, sending her to Lee's home. Tail and another friend, Hong, followed in a separate vehicle. The alleged assault occurred in Lee's residence. So the girl was unconscious. That's why it is quasi rape, because it wasn't like they were forcing her, but she couldn't say no because she was unconscious. And so they admitted to it. And I think 7 years is too short. Honestly, when you force a woman or any person for that matter to do anything, especially when it is sexual, or you do anything to that person at the time when they cannot resist, I think that should be 25 to life. So I think 7 years is not enough, but that is what the prosecution is seeking, 7 years. So it's a little, when you hear cases like this, especially because being women, we kind of know how it feels to, it's just why? Why can't you pick somebody your size, right? Why pick on us? So it's kind of infuriating if you let it get to you. So when I heard that it's 7 years they are seeking, I thought, no, has to be 25 to life, right? Okay. So a lot of people are saying that this case was actually what was being covered up at the time when there were, let's not mention the case, but there were some things that they were trying to get BTS involved into. And this was actually what they were trying to cover up. So people are saying that they were trying to divert the attention of the media away from this and into that, when in fact this is what should be dominating the headlines, right? I mean, this is a rape case, so this should be what people are talking about. Now, I'm not saying that he's the worst of them all. There certainly are other men that are worse. Doesn't make this any less evil. Now, the other thing is, another scandal is Ju Haknyon. He is from the boys. And he was, the agency said that they parted ways. They parted ways with Ju Haknyon after he was caught meeting up with this former sex worker in Japan. So she was a former sex worker. Some people are saying she still is a sex worker, and he met with her when they were in Japan. And I guess they were photographed, or some people saw him with her along with other people, including a producer in their company. So once that was released or leaked, after a day or two, the agency of the boys released a statement. And they said, as soon as we were informed of the issues involving Haknyon, Ju Haknyon's private life, our company immediately suspended his activities and took the time to thoroughly verify the facts. As a result, we have to recognize the seriousness of this issue and have clearly determined that it is no longer possible for us to maintain the trust in him as an artist. After sufficient discussion with the members of the boys, we have made the final decision to for Ju Haknyon to depart the team and to terminate the exclusive contract. We ask for your deep understanding as this decision was an avoidable measure to protect the members of the team. We would like to inform you that as of today, Ju Haknyon will cease activities as a member of the boys. 100 will do our utmost support in the remaining members of the boys. So basically, people were criticizing him. And of course, this word, the rumors got around that this was actually prostitution, meaning he paid for her. That's the accusation against him. All right. So after this statement was actually released, almost like less than 24 hours, he released his own statement, a handwritten one. And I think it was posted in his social media. And he is blatantly denying that it was prostitution. People are saying that aside from him, his another producer of the same company was actually also paid for sex, but he's saying that no, it is not prostitution. He didn't pay for sex. He didn't exactly deny it, that he, but that something happened, but he's just saying it is not prostitution. Okay. Hasn't the group been in trouble before? Yes. They've been beaten up so bad. But I think so for the first case, I think the bigger question for anybody to ask is, for the first case, this is no laughing matter, and he should just go to jail. 25 to life. That I think is the minimum for me. um and I think it is shameful for the agency to have hidden this. I am not saying that he be treated as if nothing happened after the case has already been filed against him. But at the very least, because this is a serious allegation, they should have put him in hiatus while the case was ongoing. But they waited until it was actually leaked to the media before they put him on hiatus. And he admitted to it. So what else do you need, right? I think that is the case that deserves the attention. For the second one, I think it's more cultural than anything. Because if this happens in the US, and like, people are probably gonna say like, it's okay, right? Um, so wait a sec. I thought they were dating. That is what his claim is. No, that is what other people are saying. That um this wasn't actually prostitution because they were dating. Now, um, so I feel that it is more cultural than anything. I don't agree in shaming sex workers. I still think that they should be treated like human beings because that's what they are. Um, so if the woman is a sex worker or a former sex worker, it doesn't take away the fact that she is a human being, and she doesn't deserve to be like treated like as if she has a contagious disease or whatever. If he is dating her, I don't see anything wrong with it. As long as he is an adult, making an adult decision to date a woman who was a sex worker, I don't see anything wrong with it. if he paid for sex, if it is not illegal in the country, that's a business. That's his business, not ours. If it is illegal in that country, then that is the problem. But he is denying it is prostitution. He's saying he did not pay for sex. So I'm kind of, I feel a little bad for him because it feels like, you know, this is just, if you were in another country, it would be a softer blow for you. But because it is illegal in South Korea, and I think it is illegal in Japan, then that's where things got a little muddy for him. So I don't know. What do you think? Sex worker isn't the issue, but as an idol, he knows better. That is not good for his image, regardless. No, I definitely agree that it's not good for his image. Uh, but again, that's why I'm saying it's cultural. Because if it was in the US, anybody like, oh, what you can, people are gonna make a joke out of him. Like they're gonna joke around, like, use him as a meme or something. But it is illegal in Korea. Prostitution is illegal in Korea. So that, that there's nothing we can do about it. It's their country and it's their law. Although he is denying that it is prostitution. He's saying it's not paid. Yes, Katrina, it is illegal. I've said that several times. So I just want to make sure that I go on record saying that it is illegal in Korea, and that's where the problem lies, because it is illegal in Korea. But as I've said, it's just that that's why I'm saying it is probably cultural, because had it been another country, it would just like, dude, can't you get some, it's going to be a joke. People are going to crack jokes out of the situation. But because it is illegal in Korea and there is a certain expectation out of idols, then yeah, that becomes. This happened in Japan, not Korea. The meeting happened in Japan, yes. Most countries, it is illegal in most countries. It is. How did anyone even find out about it? I think they were photographed. They were photographed, but the problem is that they were saying the reason people felt that it was prostitution is because a producer from the same company also, whatever they did whatever they did. So apparently even the producer, so people are seeing like, oh, it's, that's prostitution, because um I think is principles and respect. It's like smoking MJ is illegal in the US, illegal in SK, and will still have consequences in SK if you consumed it in the US. Oh, okay, yeah. It's like smoking in yeah, smoking joint. So smoking joint in Korea is illegal, or any kind of illegal drugs. So even if you do it in the US, though, just like gambling is illegal in Korea. So even if you do it in the US, if you are a Korean citizen, you can still get into trouble. So that's the answer to your question, Katrina. Is smoking really illegal in SK? I thought it was just a look down upon. Uh no, it's not illegal. I don't think it is illegal. Smoking joint, marijuana, is illegal in South Korea. Cigarette is fine, but smoking joint or anything, any kind of illegal drug, any kind of drugs or illegal drugs, that's not, it's illegal in Korea. He still will be held under the law as he's a Korean citizen, even if it was in the US. China also has the same laws. An actress was nearly canceled for just attending Lisa's Chinese show. Um, okay. In 2025, can idols date already? Of course they can. I think after a certain period, it becomes a little bit more bearable for fans. Because I remember Taeyang of Big Bang, before he started dating Min Yorin, who ended up becoming his wife. He started talking about wanting to date. He's like, "Oh, I really want to date. I want to have a girlfriend. I want to date." And I guess the fans started getting used to the idea of him dating. That when he finally revealed that he was dating, fans were like, "Oh, we're so happy for you." So yes, that is the answer to your question. Um, But yeah, I think it's a slippery slope, because the truth is that prostitution, whether or not, if it was prostitution, prostitution is illegal in Korea, and regardless of where you do it, if you are a Korean citizen, you can be held liable. But then he is also saying that it is not prostitution, that it was, that he did not pay for it, which makes it not prostitution. But then people are saying the producer, one of the producers of the same company, also did whatever. So they're saying, yeah, no, it can't be that, because there's more than one person in the company that did it. But who knows, right? Maybe whatever. I don't care about their whatever it's. So it's more like it is illegal in Korea, and that has to be respected, but he's denying that it is prostitution. So I guess it boils down to the same, it comes up to the same, I will come up with the same conclusion. I will assume that he is innocent until he is proven guilty. um it's just that it's an interesting, like, talk, like a thought. It's interesting to think about it. How are you going to deal with something like this? Of course, at the end of the day, you do need to follow the laws of your country. Hello, an SK citizen does drugs in another country can be charged if found in their system. Yes, yes. He kept taking his short shirt off. Fans were distracted. They need to lighten up their rules on these idols. They're grown and it's 2025, for God's sake. But it isn't about just the expectation for an idol. It was just about prostitution is illegal, which he is denying. Just want to make it clear that he actually denies this. They will still list Suga's name as part of people who broke the law. I hope he's okay now and writes millions of diss tracks. I hope he comes up with like 552,785 ciphers. Okay. What do we have? Oh, we're at time. Do you have questions before we actually end this? South Korean law makes it illegal for South Korean citizens to gamble at casinos even when they are abroad. Correct. You cannot gamble. Um, yes, you can't do any, whatever is illegal in Korea. If you do it in another country, you will still be held liable by Korea if found out. Then Bangtan should start talking about dating or marrying just to get army used to it. Good night, all sweet dreams. I think it's better to be found out to be dating normally than engage in prostitution or rape. Of course. Of course. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. I will have several, I have several videos that I'm developing, one of which is a summary of Bangtan Universe. And then I'm also apparently my military videos is will now be a series because you guys want me to do all seven. So I'll do that. I hope you watch out for it. And then the interview that I will be publishing on Monday, it's kind of interesting. He was a former event coordinator for MTV. He shared some interesting stories about different celebrities like Rihanna, cute ones, and also like, and then on Friday or Saturday, I might do a live exclusively for, well, not exclusive, but more like a live stream, but not really about BTS. I might still mention BTS, but it will be about other artists, other forms of art like movies, TV shows, and also my own work. So if you want to join, please do. I'll see you then. Bye. Thank you. Bye. 2 days to Sugar's return. Bye.